is the stand. Okay, when they stand, I want to make sure that their front legs are under their shoulders, and their back legs are underneath their hips. I want a nice flat back. So one of the first things I do is I have my dog stand, and I want to see if they can stand for 10 seconds. So I want to see if he can stand for 10 seconds. So if the paper doesn't fall off, then he can stand for 10 seconds. He's not shifting weight, or the paper would fall off. Good boy. We want to make sure that the knees are close to the body, the feet are pointed forward, the elbows are close to the body, and the feet are pointed forward. We're looking for a nice flat back. One of the reasons why I love the bench so much, this is just an aerobic bench with a mat over it, so it's not slippery, so the dog doesn't slip on it, is that most of the time, dogs that will sit splayed out with their feet out will sit nice on a bench. So, first thing you want to look for is a nice square sit, like I just said, knees in, feet forward, front feet forward, flat back. If he's kicking his feet out or something, I might move it myself, or I might ask him to get off and bring him on again straighter and see if I can get a nice sit. So his foot's kicking out, I might just touch it a little bit, see if I can get that foot. It's important. Don't underestimate the importance of a square sit. They really use their muscles, their quads, their leg muscles to keep their legs in. It is a great exercise for dogs to be able to sit squarely in a great sit for 10 seconds, for 20 seconds, for 30 seconds, to help get those muscles in, okay? So see how her feet are out. This foot is pointing out. You don't want the foot pointing out, you want it to be close to the body as possible. So that's what I'm talking about splayed sit. She's sitting like this, and she should sit like this, not like this, like this. Okay? So I don't like that. Okay. So put her on the bench. Putting a mat over it. So much better. So much better. Feet are closer to her body. So if she's not putting her feet in like I wanted, and I'm not getting it on the bench, I'm just going to push her foot in a little bit. Best I can. So close to her body there, pointed forward, perfect sit right there. Stand. So the next thing we're going to do is do a down, and I want the down to be a bow to a down. Okay, stand. And I want their feet not to move. I want them to go to a nice down and then a stand. So see, his feet are staying still. And again, doing it on a bench really helps. If you have a longer dog or a bigger dog, you might have to get a bigger bench or make one. You could use, a wood board. You want to have it just elevated enough so they feel like they're higher, and you want it at least just, you don't want it, you want it a little longer than there so that they can lie down comfortably, and the width can be dependent on the width of your dog. You want it just a little bit longer or wider than your dog so that they can feel the edges, so that helps keep their legs in. Okay, so when they're downing, I want them to down, and at first you might have to keep your hand here because I want them to go to a bow to a down. And my hand placement again, I'm going to push my treat towards his head and between his legs. I might keep my hand here because look at this nice stretch he's getting in his back. There we go. Okay, so again, things I'm going to look at I want to make sure elbows are in, knees are in, feet are pointed forward. He's in a nice Sphinx position. He's not leaning one side or the other. He's nice and straight. These are things we want to look for. Because if your dog's always leaning on one hip or one side, that could be an indication that there's something going on. You might just need to go to your massage therapist, your chiropractor, your vet, your rehab vet, but just things that you should notice. Okay? So he's laying funky. Now, so can he stand there for 10 seconds, 30 seconds without shifting weight? That's another thing for you to think about and note.
So when we're doing it down, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for them to have stand. Okay. I'm looking for them to have their feet in close to their bodies and that they're not shifted to one hip or the other like he just shifted right there. I don't want that when I'm doing my conditioning because he's using his muscles unequally. So I want to make sure that he's in a nice Sphinx down. So if he does this, I'm going to fix it, stand, put him back, stand, put him back in and down, stay. Good boy. Okay. Okay, so that's better. Okay. So he's in a nice Sphinx position. Okay. Elbows are close to his body. Hips are close to his body. Feet are pointed forward. Like, don't touch me like that. Okay. So, and that's why I like putting them on a bench because it helps keep their body in the correct position. They can lean over to the side, and if that was a problem that I saw all the time, I would consult my veterinarian. And if nothing was wrong, I would get a smaller bench so that if they actually leaned over, a less wide bench, so if they actually leaned over, they'd fall off. They don't want to fall off. So again, nice shoulders, knees and hips, everything's close to the body, knees are close to the body, feet are pointed forward, flat back, you can't tell right now, elbows are close to the body, feet are pointed forward, good now, okay, boy. I want no feet movement, I just want them to rock back into a nice down, stand, and then just pop back up. So down, stand. And I actually even would like a little bit more of that. I would like more of a bow to a stand, bow to a down. So if he's not doing that, I can help them by keeping my hand underneath them. Stand. So if I put my hand here, I can help with the bow to a down.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a sit, kickback stand. So when we're doing a sit, we want them to sit and their front feet not to move. And then when they stand, we want them to kick their back feet out like he's standing like that. So sit, stand. Okay. When I want my dog to sit, my hand goes up. When I want my dog to stand, it kind of goes just a little bit in front to push them out. If you have a dog that doesn't kick their feet out, stand, and it is hard, I usually just push their legs back or touch their feet. Stand. Usually I can just push them back. Stand. Or I'll just use my foot to push them back. So you want your dog, you want the stand so that their back feet are in line with their hips. So you want a nice flat back. Stand, stand, stand. Stand. Oh, I don't have a treat, so now you're not going to do it. So when they're standing, you want their legs to be underneath them, underneath their hips, or maybe out a little bit, like they're stacking in a confirmation. You don't want their legs in, kind of like he is right now, because he arches his back. It's hard to see with his fur, but So I want to make sure that when he's doing a stand, his legs kick back out. Okay, so those are things we're going to watch for. Okay, sit. Okay, so see how she rocked back there? That we don't want to sit like that. Stand. Sit. Good. So we want the front feet to stay still. Stand. Stand. So if I can't get her to stand, I'm just going to kind of push her feet back. Good girl. Which she's not a fan of. Sit. Good. Stand. Stand. Good. Good. If she doesn't push her feet back, I'm just going to kind of push her toes maybe, push her back a little bit, because she's easier to see. I want the back legs under her hips. Maybe falling off. Sit. Stand. Sit. Good. Stand. Stand. Good. Good. So see how she kicks her back feet, but I could still take out a little more. So her back is flat, legs are under her hips, front legs are under her shoulders. Stand. Stand. Sit. Good. Stand. Good. So see how he's taking his back feet out? Stand. Good boy. So the next progression to that is you can elevate their front feet. Sit. Stand. Sit. Stand. Good. On the bench. Thank you. Sit. Stand. Sit. No, get on the bench. Get on the bench. Sit. Stand. Good. Sit. Stand. Good. Stay away. Okay, so when we go to a down, we're going to go to a bow to a down. And then pop back up. So see when she does it like that, she went from a sit, she went from a stand to a sit to a down. She kind of used her front legs to down, so she's really not working her hind end at all. And I really want her to work her core and her hind end, not just her front end, to down. So if we down like this, so she gets a nice stretch in her back, and she really has to use her hind end to down, to bring her legs down. Try it yourself. If you stand like this and you down like this, you're using your back legs and your butt as opposed to just flopping. So that's what we want. Don't share this video. Okay. Good. Okay, stand. Down. And bench. Down. Down. Yes. Pop up. Bow down to a down, nice, to a stand, pop up. So see how our feet aren't moving? She's doing that stretch in her back, down, down. Good. Pop up stand. Beautiful stand, good girl.